Alright, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night wherever you're from. And real quick before we get started, as always, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' constant generosity and support to me as always. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. And if you guys are actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, if you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, loyalty crown badges, you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember, that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help, so thank you guys so much. And for today's video, like I mentioned with the dev notes video, I know it's been a little bit, I'm pretty late on this, but solo raid is still currently ongoing. There's still time as well before hard mode unlocks, so I want to give my final thoughts on Brid as well, especially because I did use her in solo raid. Honestly, pretty surprising. Want to talk about her though, because as always, there are 3 things I love to talk about in these type of videos. And first things first, want to talk about the income and timing of everything, and your account depending on whether you should be pulling her or not. I love to talk about the waifu aspect, but that's always subjective, but I do love to talk about it. And then lastly, we talk about the skills, equipment, everything, get down to testing. So timestamps for wherever you want to go down below, but let's get started. And like I mentioned right now, income and timing right now is kind of a question mark because yes, it is Christmas. We do have limited time units right now. We also have rerun banners for them as well for other characters. But at the same time, we are really close to New Year's and a lot of people are excited to see what the unit might be. A lot of questions with that. We are going to be seeing that when the live stream announcement comes up. Hoping that's pretty soon though, because I am pretty excited. Hoping for good things with that event. But more importantly right now, depending on what type of account you should have, maybe you should be pulling or not. And honestly, it really depends. When it comes down to characters like this at this point, I feel like it's a matter of solo raid. If you care about solo raid, I think it might be a good pull. Or if you don't care about solo raid, you might not care. Obviously, if this is your favorite character because she looks fantastic, go for it. But if you only really care about the meta, it really depends because on one hand, yes, she is going to be great for solo raid, especially fire content. But at the same time, a lot of people have a lot of fire units, so they might not feel compelled to be pulling. And that makes sense. You know, we have a lot of fire units. So if you feel like you really don't want another fire character, then don't go for it. That being said, I've honestly have all the fire characters, but also I'm using Brid. So I will be showing my teams and stuff of what I used in game. But for now, you know, maybe if you don't want to pull because you have too many characters, completely understandable. But I'm gonna be honest, hard for me not to pull because she looks fantastic. Now we got to move on talking about the waifu aspect because like I said, she looks great, and I gave her a lot of TLC. Not only did we have some great MLB pulls come up really fast, but I did treat her well, gave her OL Gear 0, just because, I'm gonna be honest, she is a support at the end of the day. I feel like it's not really worth it going that far. I got her to rank level Bond 30 because of the MLB, maxed out her doll, and I'm gonna be honest, she looks fantastic, dude. Like, looking so good. Good tight pants, good side booba. Good assets. The jiggle with the Celine doll is fantastic. Looking really nice. Honestly, I dig the outfit. It looks really cute. I don't know if it's the shading or not, but the slight bit of blue with her hair, the long hair part right here, looking really good, man. I really like it. And I do like that corset with how busty she looks. Pretty damn nice. But for a lot of people, you know, it depends on who the character is that you really like or not. I've always liked Brid since day one. So pretty happy that she finally got an alt. I'm happy with them in the context that they are fantastic for what they're trying to do. I do think that she is niche because a lot of her skills are really focused on fire rather than general, which is a shame, but still pretty nice. And now I want to talk about her equipment and everything. So first things first, let's talk about skills. I simped and maxed out. You do not have to go this far. Honestly, if you want, you could go 777 and be completely fine. Burst, you can honestly keep at 7. It's not that big of a deal because it is a support. She's not really dealing so much damage. The damage when she does deal really good damage is going to be with the shotgun team. And that's because 2-way just enhances anyone's shotgun regardless. But still, some pretty good numbers. But really what you're here for is her skill 1 and her skill 2 because of what she provides with this damage taken. But we also need to talk about this because this is where this niche thing comes in. Because this activates with win code. Both involve win code enemies, and that's the kind of deal breaker a little bit with her because it's not a general thing. So it really is only catered to fire content. but when she is needed with fire content, she's doing a great job. So really what it comes down to is that if you really want to invest more into her, you could probably put 10, 10, 7. Honestly, I don't think her burst needs to go all the way to 10. I just did it out of simp. But with what you're getting for her passives, you really get a good bit just because damage taken is so good in Nikke that I feel like it benefits. It's just a shame that it's only for the win code enemies. But still, it's kind of like almost like a different version of like the Summer Helm, which is still a good job, but a little bit niche just because at least she has CDR, but still not bad for what she's trying to do. A little bit expensive though, especially for being catered to only like one element really. Now, here's the thing while we're still here talking about the skills. With her skill 2, you see this activates after 5 normal attacks, activates after 10 normal attacks. With shotguns, that is very slow. And that means that you might want a lot more max ammo with her, just so you can try to keep up with shooting and not have to reload as much, so you can keep proccing these. So that's something that you want to keep in mind when you're actually developing her equipment here. And honestly, with her being a support element attack, max ammo should also be a priority, honestly, so you can keep proccing that skill too. And for me, I actually got some pretty good lines. I got some elemental, a blue line for max ammo, some attack again, and max ammo again, and then more max ammo. So not bad. Honestly, for max ammo, it was pretty damn good. So that's why for me, I am using the Bastion Cube. If not, use Resilience. Realistically, you'd probably just want to use your highest level cube. I feel like I repeat myself a lot when I just say highest level cube, and it's kind of a shame that this is how the cube system really is. But it's true, if you really want to maximize her, just go Resilience or Bastion depending on your max ammo count. It's going to benefit you either way. Before I talk about testing results, I actually do want to talk about solo raid really quick because hopefully everyone's solo raid is going well if you are progressing. For me, I barely had time to do it, but I ended up getting a pretty good percentage. If we actually go look at my raid ranking, I'm at 0.63 and I got 18 billion, and I'm just going to stay here because I'm fine with that. But the squads I ended up using are right here just in case. Big shout out to the Discord Wiz, especially because this is the team that he had, so I just went with it, and it's pretty damn good. And I used Brid in the shotgun team here, and yes, I could have used Grave, but I feel like she pairs better to try to help Alice on the other team for squad 3. So I'm using Brid here with Tuve, Celine for CDR, and also empowering Drake as well, and it really helps because Brid does a good bit of damage, and we're going to be seeing that as well when we see the testing results. But this is just an idea of how flexible she can be right now, especially for the shotgun team. I already have Drake Treasure as well, but now I want to get to talking about testing results, so let's get started. So to get started, first things first, this is a typical team. Obviously, you don't see Brid here because I wanted to use this as a base level comparison, using Crown, Siren, Mihara, Diesel, and Helm. Now, first things first, with Mihara doing 7.2 billion, now Diesel is doing 4.8. Now, if we swap Helm for Brid just so we can use the passives, it gets a little bit interesting because obviously with this, Mihara is doing a little bit less, around 200 million less, getting really close to 7 billion, just 4 million off. However, Diesel did go up a bit. She went from 4.8 to 5.3 billion. That's a really nice bump for her, and also kind of nice that Brid is doing a good little bit of damage here. Honestly, not bad. Not bad, almost doing 1.3 billion. For what she's trying to do, I'm surprised by it, honestly. It's not that bad. I was pretty content with that. But then now it gets a little bit interesting because let's say we swap in for a different team. And remember, Diesel does fantastic with Mast. But instead of using Crown, we're going to be using Brid, Siren, Mihara still, Diesel, and Mast. And on every third burst, we're going to be bursting with Mast. And now we see a good bit of difference here, which is crazy. Brid is actually doing 1.3 billion now, kind of keeping up with Little Mermaid, which is kind of crazy to me. So that's awesome to see. Mihara doing almost 7.4 billion. Now Diesel getting a bump from 5.3 billion with this team setup to 6.1 billion. And the investment level compared from Mihara is crazy. She's doing fantastic. So this damage taken that Brid is offering, combined with Mast helping Diesel, is buffing it up a lot. So that's really awesome to see how well they perform. Yes, it's really only dedicated to Solo Raid Fire. Off element, kind of a question mark, but still, at least with what they do, they're doing pretty damn well. So that's why I enjoy the characters, honestly, but that's just me. But then now I wanted to test with the shotgun team for fun. So we're doing Tuve, Brid for a B2, we're going to use Doro, Drake here, and obviously Celine. And like I said, Tuve is going to help any shotgun. So pretty good damage right here for Brid. But even when we weren't using Tuve, it wasn't that bad. Really, the damage wasn't that bad for what you would expect. So really great things for her damage for what she is just as a support. And then Dora over here getting really close at a 3.8 billion. Drake doing 3.35. So really awesome to see Celine just keeping up with the CDR with Tuve. But do let me know if you are happy with her, if you still ended up pulling, if you're waiting, if you're excited for the New Year's banner. What do you think it might be? Let me know. But that is going to be it for me, so I hope you guys have a lovely day, lovely night wherever you're from. And as always, thank you so much for the constant support. Take care, and have a good one.